Hello, hello, hello. This is your girl, Stevie Aisha Mills, and guess what? This is the Just Stevie Show. And today, oh my gosh, today we have such an amazing interview, guys. I'm overjoyed. And when you hear this young lady talk to you about who she is, y'all will be overjoyed too. It's so impressive. We connected just a few short years ago, and ever since then, it's like evolution has come. She is all over. People know who she is. So without any further ado, let's welcome Sulondia Hammond to our show. Hey, Sue Ham.
Hey, Stevie. So glad to be here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please tell us who you are and what you do in the world.
You know, I hate this part where I have to introduce myself, but here we go. I'm going to give it a little shot. Well, first, I'm a mother of 3 beautiful children, aged 25, 21, and 9. I'm an author, a writer. I used to be just a playwright, but now I write screenplays as well. So I'm a writer, speaker, and an actor. I'm someone who just loves life. I love encouraging people to live their dreams, to live their best lives. And that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Wow. Okay, so this is the part where I get to bring it out a little bit more. Y'all, okay, if that was not impressive enough, because it is impressive. Honey, do you know who she's been connected to? Or who's connected to her? Let's talk about it. To just give you some information, her resume consists of David E. Talbert, it consists of Steve Harvey, it consists of Danny Glover, and these are people who, like, I am just overjoyed to know that she has been connected to, and they know her. Like, you can ask. And so that's important. Let's talk about that journey, and then we'll talk about some of the work that you're doing now, because
absolutely
an amazing thing. So what gave you the courage and confidence to say, let's go forth and just spring out? Because you used to do a little bit more business coaching, right?
Yeah, I used to do a lot of internet marketing, and it's so funny. While I was doing it, one of my friends who's real big into it was like, Sue, you're more of a motivational speaker. And at the time, right, I took offense to that. I'm like, nah, I can do whatever I want to do. He's like, no. I see you on stages, big stages all around the world. And I was like, you know what? That wasn't a dig at me. That was just, he was right. Even though I enjoyed the internet marketing, it wasn't something that I was passionate about. Mm-hmm. But what it did teach me is how to market and how to reach an audience on the internet and how to get the attention of people that could open big doors for me, which, you know, led to being on Steve Harvey twice, which being on Steve Harvey twice and speaking around the world is what led to me going down to Texas and being on the same stage as Les Brown. Mm-hmm. So it's just been amazing. And then being in David E. Talbert's movie, Almost Christmas, and him blowing me up on social media, on Twitter and Facebook, real heavy. It's just been a huge blessing for me. And so now I'm walking in my purpose, and it's not an easy thing, right? Especially coming from an area, a rural area, and wanting to do the entertainment thing. It's not an easy thing, but what I tell people is when you focus and you believe and you use the internet and build relationships, everything is possible.
Absolutely. And I think that is key because, you know, a lot of people talk about being from small town, and I'm from a small town too. My pastor always says anything with a borough at the end of it is small. So I definitely am, you know, I'm from Greensboro, but they just, you know, when the world happens to get in love with the internet, it just opens so many doors. What do you think is the number one holdback that people have about fully becoming like an internet sensation?
I think their belief and worrying about how other people perceive them and what they're going to say. I don't know if you remember, I had this video where I was beatboxing.
Yes.
And this video went viral. It even, you know, I even had BET reach out to me and say, hey, can we put your video on our new show called The Experiment? And I'm like, of course you can. But here's the thing. Before the video made it to BET, it went viral on Facebook, Instagram, World Star. Mm-hmm. And the people were going in on the comments. They were calling me everything. And if I was weak-minded or if I, bruised easily, that would have stopped me from doing videos, which is something I love to do on the internet, because some of those comments were so harsh. But in my mind, I look at life as, a comedy, a drama/comedy. So in my mind, those comments were hilarious to me. And all they were doing was, opening up the algorithm to show more people who I am and what I do. So I really believe it's a belief in oneself and a fear of what other people are going to say. Their perception is what keeps people from really going full-fledged, full speed ahead on social media using the internet.
I love it. And I love the humility that you have, because I know enough about you to say that you are very much like, you're driven. And I think that you've not, in your mind, you're like, I've not gotten where I want to be yet. No. And so when people start talking about the names that you've been connected to, it's almost like, that's great, but there's more to uncover. And I love that. What do you think is your number one reason for persevering through it all?
Well, I got to say this, when you say not there yet, David Talbert said something in one of his acting seminars that truly stuck with me. He said, when you're there, you're never truly there, because you'll always want to go there. So it's like when you get to there, that place, you're like, oh, I'm here. Then you want to go there. So for me, and that's great, because for me, that keeps me growing. And if I'm growing, that means I won't die. And so what has kept me going? Well, the fact that I've known ever since I was 5 years old what I was put on this earth to do. And I knew it involved entertainment. That is the thing that drives me, connecting with my audience, impacting them on a cellular level. It really sets my soul on fire. And when I worked a regular job, when I did just the internet thing, that didn't set my soul on fire. When I had money and I was traveling and doing masterminds in and out of the country, that didn't set my soul on fire. What set my soul on fire is being able to write my stories, produce them, being able to go into my community and touch these children and inspire them, being able to get on TV and speak. That's what set my soul on fire. And so for me, and I hate to say this, but I got to say this, I've never done drugs, but I've heard people say they're always chasing that high.
Yes.
So for me, that's my high. That just doing that, and nothing else compares to it. Working to a job does not compare to it. Having a bunch of money does not compare to it. So for me, that's what keeps me going. It makes me feel like my life is worth living. And, for a long time, I went to a job that I detested, that really broke me down physically and mentally and spiritually. And so I said to myself, I will never allow myself to get back to that. So in order to, keep that promise to myself, I have to keep going forward, keep creating new dreams, new goals, new visions, and keep, going to the next level.
Wow. And it takes a lot of mind switching, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about that part. How you've been able to overcome the mentality that, the world offers.
Well, here's the thing. I listen to a lot of Reverend Ike. I love him. Reverend Ike says, work your mind, then you're behind. And even in my internet training, right, I was all about, how do we get to the money? Give me the skill set. Just tell me what I got to do, A, B, C, D, E, and then I can get to the money. And I always overlooked when they were always saying, listen, it starts in the mind first. It's what do you believe? Do you believe that you're money? Do you believe that you're successful? And I was like, nah, okay, just give me the skill set. Tell me what I got to do, and I'll do it. And here's the thing I found out. I would do everything to the T. I would work 12, 13-hour days, and I still wouldn't get the money, because deep down at the cellular level, I felt like, oh, this is not going to work. So everything I was doing was contradicting, the physical, and my mental effort was contradicting the physical effort, and therefore the manifestation never happened. So I came to believe that your mind is the most important thing in achieving success. When you believe in yourself, I mean, totally believe in yourself, you become freaking invincible. You become supernatural. And it is so important to feed your mind. Earl Nightingale said, the mind is like the soil. It doesn't care what you put into it. It's going to produce what you put into it. So if you plant poison, it's going to produce poison. If you plant good crop and fertilize it, it's going to produce fruit and vegetables. So your mind is the most important thing you got going. Once you feed it, once you let your spirit and your body knows, I can do this, I will do this, you will start to attract the things that you need in your life. You'll start to see all those goals, those visions on your vision board starting to manifest. So definitely feed your mind. It's so important. I can't stress mindset enough. It's the most important thing there is.
Wow. And, you know, the whole thing about the work that you're doing now, which is amazing, it's like, I remember those early days of Tyler Perry. You know, I remember because I have seen, and I don't like VHS Tyler Perry. So when they used to have the big mics and everything, and we have such an incredible blueprint with that. And I bring that up because I think the work that you're doing is not even though, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it might be in the early stages, but the work that you're doing is so beyond that. It's wow. Not even, it's very like great. I've seen the plays. It's amazing to watch it, and it is on my goal to get to be there in person one of these days when our schedules align. But definitely talk to us about what your plays represent.
Well, first of all, thank you so much. I got goosebumps on that. I received that. Thank you so much. My plays represent, in a nutshell, just living your life, living your best life. My plays are a direct representation of my imagination, which is a gift from God. You know, my favorite quote is from Einstein: "Imagination is everything. It's the preview of life's coming attraction." Mm-hmm. And you know, it's so funny how we're all set up. We're born into the circumstances and into the environment we're supposed to be in to help us shape our gifts to give back to the world. And so because I grew up in rural America, I played in my imagination all the time. Who knew that it would help me to write such great stories that impact the world? So my plays are about, they're emotion driven. I mean, one minute you might be laughing, the next minute you pissed off. Yeah. 1 minute you may be empathizing with the character, the next minute, you know, you want to strangle them. They represent excellence, positivity, motivation, the can-do spirit. They show, my plays, I think in a nutshell, they show you and people that you know on stage, they're relatable. Mm-hmm. They're authentic, they're relatable, and transparent and emotional.
Wow.
So you're going to laugh, you're going to cry. And the biggest thing is that you leave the theater a change impacted person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Definitely. And I know that we're wrapping up soon. And one of the cheesiest questions, people always ask this, and it's a real question, but I'm going to ask it in a little different way. The question that most people ask is, what's next up? And what I want to ask is, what is the world ready to accept from Sue Ham? And when is she going to give it to them?
Well, I'm constantly working on giving it to them every day. You know, give it to me, what you say? And what I mean by giving it to them, I mean the encouragement to live, love, learn, and laugh, to follow your dreams to success. But what's next for me? And wow. So I'm letting you in on my little secret that's in my diary, that's on my vision board, Stevie, all because you're just that person. Okay. What's next for me is I want to see my work, on networks, on cable television, you know, on digital, on Netflix. I'm talking about big, you know, where we got millions of people seeing it and people walking away from it and being like, wow, not wow, that was good, but wow, that really touched me at a cellular level. It makes me want to do things differently. So that's what's next for me, is really getting into mainstream with my writing, whether it be a stage play or whether it be a screenplay or whether it be a television episode. That's where we're headed.
That's awesome. I cannot wait. It's funny. My mother she's never met a lot of people that I connect with, but I'm like, we gotta watch this because this is we gotta watch it. And so she knows a lot about people from that instance. And you're definitely one of those people who I have seen. I think it's very explosive and very instrumental in a lot of people's lives that you do the work that you do, because, you know, we didn't talk a lot about the backstory. I definitely want to get you to tell the backstory prior to us leaving out, and then have you like give your contact information and all that greatness. But yeah, just give people like a little bit of the foundation so they can understand the greatness that's going on.
Well, I live in Williamsburg County, and it's been deemed by outsiders as the poorest county in the state of South Carolina. And I beg to differ. I once heard someone say that poor is when you've lost all hope, and we haven't lost hope. So being the case that I live here in Williamsburg County in a rural area, it's really not the typical place to live to be able to have the success that I've had. But I've been fortunate and blessed because I've been focused and putting the work out there. But in pursuing that goal, and I don't advise anybody to do it the way I did it, I actually left my job because I couldn't take it anymore. I left my job. I had like 16 income producing properties, rental properties. I actually had to foreclose on those. I had to file bankruptcy. My kids seeing my vehicles being torn out of my driveway. It even got to the point where my second oldest child relocated with his father to Maryland because we were having it just that hard financially. And then it came down to the point where I actually had to give back the house that I lived in. So I moved from a house that was 3,000 square feet into one that was 3 times smaller. So there have been days when I've had lights cut off, water cut off. There have been days when I've only had $5 in my pocket, but I made myself a promise. I was just like, if I'm given the opportunity to where I could just focus on my dreams, then I promise I will not quit. So when I walked out of my job, I had plenty of opportunity. So I decided to do that. I started focusing, started writing, started going to seminars, started connecting with people, started doing video. I was doing videos like 3 to 5 times a week, sometimes 2 videos a day, sometimes 3 videos a day, and just started putting them out there. There were times when no one was listening to my podcast. No one was watching my videos, but I was on there like, yeah, like there were millions of people watching me because I knew that eventually it would come. And it did, because it led to me being on the Steve Harvey show twice, where I was viewed by millions of people, which was a dream that was realized. Then it led to being on BET, which was viewed by millions of people. Then it led to being able to talk on the same stage as Les Brown, and then Les Brown coming and doing a video and endorsing me as a great playwright. And it's just amazing. But I went through a lot of hell first.
Come on.
But I had to have the discipline to stay focused. Because here's what I want to tell you. If you do not focus, if you're doing 4 or 5 different things at one time, then the thing that you really want is not going to take flight. So you have to have the discipline to focus. You have to believe in yourself. You have to have faith, and you need to invest in yourself and apply the knowledge that you learn. So that's my backstory, real short, because I know we're running out of time. But please don't think anything was handed to me. I went and I got it. I attracted it to me because of my belief and my work system.
Awesome. That is a great place to stop. But thank you for being here. Give us your contact information, please.
Well, it's real simple, y'all. Stevie said my government name, Sulondia Hammond, but I'm also known as Sue Ham Baby, or the Doug Motivator, and you can find me at sueham.com. That's SUEHAM.com.
Yes, because I can't say it like she can say it, so I don't even say it. I'm like, but thank you.
Thank you.
So great. I appreciate you.
It's always a pleasure with you, Stevie. Anytime, man. And listen, when I'm out there getting those Oscars and stuff, anytime you want that interview, you got it.
Yes. I've heard it here first. You all know what I say. Make it a great day. Do not have a great day. Make it a great day. Why? Because you, and yes, you too have the power to do so. Bye for now.